Hi, I'm Turner Cavender.
And I'm Travis Hitt.
In today's episode, we're going to be talking about why you should hire an agent and reasons behind a really good agent.
Great topic, and one I feel like it's not talked about enough, especially in the current market that we've had the last year or two. A lot of people are like, why do I even need an agent? And that's a great question because things were selling so fast. But what happens when the market shifts like it just did? Warren Buffett will tell you not hiring an agent is the biggest 6% mistake you will ever make. Unless you've done it before, unless you're an attorney and you know documentation, it truly is a mistake. And I've had clients that have done it, and they always say they'll never do it again. And this is not just to hire us. Be great if you guys wanted to contact us and use us, but
the whole point of this show is, let me get this across to the viewer and the listener right now. This show is to, whether you use us or not, that's cool. The point is that we want to get the information, education to you so you can make the best educated decision. Yeah. I'm going to say this a lot on this show because I mean it. I want you to be educated when you make your decision, because I personally didn't know what I was doing when I was doing my real estate transactions personally for my homes. And I really wish I knew a lot more. So sorry to cut you off. I'm going to do that a lot too on this show. That's the whole point of the banter. But
this is live and unedited. So if you mess up, deal with it. But it's true. You need to hire a really good agent. The first thing is, well, how do I find a good agent? Yeah. Know the right questions to ask. Ask your friends what they went through. Ask your parents. Ask realtors what you need to ask. A good realtor will be an open book to you and answer every question that you have. And they will have the answers to the questions you have. And we don't know it all. So if we don't have the answer, a good agent will be able to get you that answer. One that
because I do pat myself on the back in this, I did this in the fitness industry too, is that an agent that is open book and has humility to this is, I always say these words, quote unquote, if I don't know the answer, I'm going to get the right answer for you. But when you say those key words and you hear an agent say those key words, they mean it. Yeah. That they don't act like they're the know-it-all, because those, to be honest with you, are the worst.
Yeah. And if they don't get you the answer, then here's your sign. You know not to use them. Yeah. But it's really important because if you've never sold a home and it's not your career, you don't really know what goes on. I know it looks like it's super simple. You put a contract on a house, you negotiate a price, you negotiate some repairs, and you show up to the title company and you sign some paperwork and give them your check.
I wish it was that simple.
Me too. But a lot of people don't realize, and I tell clientele this, it's a 30-day process. Most clients don't know what all goes on in that 30-day process because they shouldn't. You as the consumer, as the home buyer, the home seller, you hire an agent so you don't have to worry about all the nitty-gritty, all the little things that go into it. And I don't let my clients know all the time the things that I do because it's not important to them. That's my job and why I'm being hired. A lot of people don't look at a real estate agent like a business. Okay. We run a business on our end and we work for our client, and we do the things in that 30-day process. We do it on behalf of our client. So unless you're super familiar with buying or selling a home, you don't know what goes into it. I don't know how to clean my own teeth except for brushing them. So I go to a dentist. I don't know how to diagnose myself, so I go to a doctor, and I don't tell them how to do their job.
Well, you just said, you hit that right on the nail that I want to kind of segue into. I call them weekend warriors.
Yeah.
All right. There's agents out there, and I'm not bashing. I want you to understand, I'm not bashing you if the shoe fits here, but if you want an agent that's really, really good at what they do, I hate to say this, but make sure this is not their plan B.
Yeah.
That they're not doing this on their off hours only, because there's going to be times where they're working and they can't show you a home, or they can't answer the phone to a serious situation when it comes to inspections or some other stuff. There's all kinds of stuff that can blow up. And I've actually dealt with agents myself, and I know you have.
Oh, yeah.
When you're trying to get an answer and it's time is under the essence, and they're at work or they can answer because they have a plan A and this is their plan B, quote unquote, weekend warrior.
Now, as long as you have the information, the expectation, I started off with a second job in real estate was not my primary job. But I made sure my clientele they knew my schedule. They had the right expectations up front.
Being open about it.
Yeah, and I was open about it. And I wanted them to use me, and I still would work hard for them, but I would never go into it as a lie or make them think I'm full time or I'm going to be there a lot more than
So communication.
I am.
So
communication.
That is another thing that we'll kind of segue into is communication. Like, what are some characteristics that the consumer? Now, this is for the agent to be, to learn from experiences that we've had, expertise, and tips to take and apply to your business. If you're an aspiring agent or a current agent right now, what are some characteristics of a consumer to look for when it comes to communication?
First off, would be answering your phone. I tell all my clients, hey, I may not answer every single time you call or answer every single text because I'm probably with another client or working on something.
Are.
But I set those expectations. Like I have a 2-hour rule, and I tell all my brand new clients that if they call me, I will call you back within 2 hours. Or if somebody texts me, I try to text them quickly, let them know what I'm doing, and I'll call back. So a very important aspect to a good agent is knowing that you can have good communication with them. Because again, it's not a quick process all the time of buying and selling a home. Typically, your standard closing is a 30-day process. So you, as the home buyer or seller, or even leasing, you want to know that you can communicate with your agent. They're going to answer your questions, and they're going to be there for you whenever you have a question or a concern.
Okay. What are some other things that the consumer or someone that's trying to find the agent, the best fit for them? What's another one that you think of? I know I got mine that I know I can pride myself on.
Yeah.
But what do you think are some other things that they need to look into? What should they see in an agent to be like, okay, this guy is the
first one that comes to my mind is adaptability.
Oh, girl, sorry.
We're girls. Adaptability. So a question that a lot of sellers or buyers ask an agent is, how many homes have you sold in this area? I personally don't take offense to this. I hate that question. Because there's so many homes in so many regions, especially
if you're new, new agent.
If you're brand new.
Right.
The difference is you should know their knowledge of real estate in general, because a house is a house. Yes, different areas sell different values and they have different quirky things about that area. But the biggest thing is knowing that the agent has knowledge and that they want to learn and they can adapt to different areas. It's not about how many homes they've sold in this one general area or help purchase, because just because I haven't sold a home in one neighborhood, I can almost guarantee you I will still be able to help you like I've sold 10 in that neighborhood. Okay. Because I learned the neighborhood, I learned the client, I learned the market for that area, but we can't know every single location, every single neighborhood.
Yeah, for sure. So that's a great thing, because I've had that question too, and I was like, I'll be honest with you, I'm still going to over deliver.
Yeah,
and I always do. And this past weekend, and this is, sometimes you need to celebrate situations like this, and I feel like I'm going to celebrate right now. As we were on a three-way call, and my client that is a Navy SEAL, and I won't say his name, but he's an amazing man, and to know that he said these words about me to him, saying that I'm an amazing agent, was like, it hit home.
He did. That's true.
And I was like, yeah, boy, I felt good about it.
Turner's representing a seller, and he didn't 100% know how to handle this situation, but he did the right thing. You called me.
I called you to get the answer.
I've been through this situation many a time, so he called me and said, hey, will you help me talk with my client? Absolutely, I will. Mm-hmm. But that shows vulnerability to your seller, and I think he respected that Turner didn't know how to handle the situation, but he had somebody in his life and on his team that knew how to handle it, and we were able to work through it, and it worked out.
Which kind of goes right back into what I said earlier. Is like, I don't have all the answers, and I didn't, because it was my first time experiencing that situation, and I just told him straight up, like, hey, he was asking me, firing off questions when I called him, because you were on the other side of the line when I was trying to do a three-way call. He started firing off at questions like, hey, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what I'm doing in this situation, but I know I have somebody on the line right now to explain it to him. He goes, oh, okay, cool.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
But to get back on to why hire an agent in this market? Mm-hmm. Again, that 30-day process, as a buyer or seller, you may not know what goes on, and that's what we want. We really don't want everybody to know what goes on, because that's not their job. That's what we're here for. Mm-hmm. But negotiations. I mean, if you don't know how to negotiate, you don't know Texas real estate, you don't know what goes on with the negotiations, that's one reason. Issues. That's the biggest reason, is everybody thinks a transaction is going to go smoothly and perfectly. I tell all my clients, I get one smooth transaction a year and it's gone on day one. Not saying every transaction we do is terrible, but it's just like anything. There's always things to work through. So when you have a licensed agent to help you, one, you're protected, because we are protected by the brokerage that we work with and the insurance that we have within having your license. If you don't use an agent and you do something wrong or you don't disclose something, you are subject to penalties. And things go wrong all the time in real estate. And so if you're not working with an agent, how do you know how to handle that? Or how do you know how to overcome it but still make it a win? That's what we specialize in, is turning negative aspects of an issue or a problem of a transaction into a win, because the ultimate goal is still getting to the closing table for that buyer and that seller.
Yeah, so that would kind of be like kind of the jab you're trying to stab at is, those platforms out there like Zillow and Realtor.com, right? And actually having somebody to walk you through the steps that you don't fully understand. Because everyone, all the consumers, and I know real estate agents out there before they were real estate agents, but thought the same thing, is that you could find everything you needed to do, everything you needed to find out on that property on Zillow and Realtor, and they are literally realtors' worst nightmare. They don't have stuff updated when they need to be. And there's lots of issues you can fall into.
And I love the online platforms. I mean, let's be real. It's 2022. A lot of stuff's going to online. But I don't think online platforms are ever going to take over a physical real estate agent, because when there is a problem, is that online platform going to help anybody? No. You have to have two humans working together to get to that end goal.
Yeah, so when it comes to purchasing, there's a lot of, clients, and the consumer always say, well, especially the high-end clients, well, what's your marketing platform? What's your marketing portfolio? What you got? So kind of give somebody, what's a consumer should look for, and then also prep the agent to what they should have.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great question. Everybody's going to do the normal stuff. They're going to take photos and they're going to put it on the MLS. That's the standard. That's bottom of the barrel, basic thing that agents are going to do and they should do. It depends on the house. Sometimes that's okay. Sometimes that's enough to get a house sold. But you want to know, especially like you said, luxury or certain areas that are more difficult areas, you want to know what they're going to do. So ask them, what is your plan? Are you going to take videos? Where are you going to market it? Are you buying your own website for my property? Who are you marketing this to? How often are you going to market this? Rather than just taking photos and putting it on the MLS. Yeah,
there's a lot of behind the scenes. As obviously as you can see right here, this is marketing whether you believe it or not. This is getting education out to the consumer. You, right now, watching, right now, or listening.
I just took on a listing and my client doesn't know it, but I've already spent a couple $1,000s before we've even gone on market. And that's because I want to put it out there. I want to do the best marketing plan that I can, and that costs money. So another thing you may ask people is, what kind of budget do you have? Are you able to market my home like it should be? Usually those types of homes are in the luxury market to where you're spending thousands of dollars before you even go on market. Which is
a lot. It's a myth that a lot of agents don't understand. Oh, I'm just going to get this big listing. If I can just get this. You don't understand how much money you have to put into it, and you might not close. And then you're out that money. So you got to be really good at what you do. And if you're a consumer out there or a person's trying to sell some real estate, do your history on the marketing program, how successful they're at it. If you want an example, this guy right over here.
Happy to help.
Yeah. He's really good at what he does. And someone like him is someone you need to be role modeled after if you're an agent. As well as myself and doing marketing stuff like this to make sure that the house or property is getting out there to the public and in a very professional manner.
But back to why hire an agent, I think it really comes down to you want to be protected, and they're doing the things that you may not know how to do. It's just like buying insurance. I explain it a lot. You hope you never have to use it, but when you do, it's there. Kind of the same thing with an agent. A lot of times it may not be tough, but when it is, you want somebody that can represent you for you and nobody else, and they're there to work for you. They know what they're doing. They know the processes. They know the contract. It drives me crazy when agents don't know the contract. I've read the contract back and forth so many times, and I don't do that just to pump myself up. I do it because it's my job. Whenever an issue arises, I need to know how to solve that issue. I need to know what to do. But that's why you hire an agent, is so you know that you're being represented 100%, and somebody is there to take care of you, and their fiduciary duty is nobody else except for the person they signed the paperwork with.
I hope you guys take some really good knowledge and take these little nuggets, right home and apply them to your life, whether you're looking for the best agent or you're the agent out there trying to be the best agent for your client. Take these little nuggets, put them in your head, and apply them to your life. There is one thing that I know Travis wants to put out there to you guys is we really would like some feedback, right?
Yeah. If we don't know what we're doing wrong or if we can do something better, we don't know. We don't get offended, so we would love if you would drop below a comment of something you want to hear about, feedback with this segment, something we missed that we could have touched on.
Yeah, we would love a topic to do that you have a question on, and we could just nail that into the ground. So give us a topic and go ahead and hit that subscribe button or follow or give this a share to. You don't know who this is going to help. A consumer or agent, give it a share it out there. We're just here to spread more positivity and give more education out there, and I really do appreciate you guys stopping by, giving us your eyes and ears for this show. My name is Turner Cavender.
I'm Travis Hitt,
and when you think about real estate leadership.